All right, so before I say anything, I just want to preference at the fact that I've worked 9 to 5 jobs before. And the reason why I'm saying that is it is a lot of opinions coming from dumbass niggas who have never worked a job before or people who are just trying to like clip farm and shit. And this topic was like hot for a minute, but I never really like made a video on it because I wanted to I didn't really care too much. But the more I sat and thought about it, the more I said, you know what? Let me make a video on this shit because I wanted to give my own like thoughts and feelings compared to like what other people was saying. Like again, I was gonna ignore this topic, but then I was like, the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to make a video on it. And yeah, now you can say that streaming, content creation is harder than a 9 to 5, and you can say vice versa. Everything you do, like it's always something difficult or something you do, whether it's a job or making content. Like, for example, let's talk about a 9 to 5. So, a 9 to 5, you go to work, you get up at a certain time in the morning, maybe like 6, 7, whatever time you get up at. And then, you go, you do what you gotta do. You gotta deal with annoying ass customers and shit. You gotta do retail, especially stuff like fast food jobs and retail. It's gonna be stressful, my nigga. Like I said, I worked 9 to 5 before, and the job I had, it wasn't really too stressful, but you feel me? Like one day it was, one day it wasn't. Everybody goes through these kind of things, and again, it's like people who are just bringing this up. It's like people who haven't either worked before or they're just trying to like clip farm or like get a viral clip or something. But yeah, again, 9 to 5s, I would say that content creation is much more easier because on 9 to 5s, like I said, you got to deal with rush hours, getting up early in the morning to do shit, annoying customers, etc., etc. And then on top of that, you still have to spend like 6 more hours in a shift doing the same thing. Sometimes you run out of food, you gotta eat stuff like that, and then you gotta come back and do the same shit again. You feel me? And like doing a 9 to 5, when doing a 9 to 5, you always gotta like think about like coming back the next day after completing like one shift and type shit. And I won't say it's normal. It's like everyone goes through that, but it does get annoying, which I do see why people would say that, you know, a 9 to 5 is harder than streaming. But again, with streaming or content creation in general, that shit is hard too. You feel me? It's like, especially for a content creator, you think of a content creator and you think of somebody like maybe Corey Kenshin or Dashi or like Markiplier, any famous YouTuber, and you got to deal with a lot of things when it comes to like content creation and like YouTube and all that stuff. Like you got to think of like analytics, constant videos ideas like every day. Like when you're doing content, like even me, when you're doing content creation, streaming, whatever, whatever, like you always have to like show up. Like everybody wants to get monetized, everybody wants to like make money off this YouTube shit, but you got to show up to do it. You feel me? You got to like put the work in, put the grind in. Again, you always got to be thinking of like a new streaming idea, new video idea, all these things. And then on top of that, there are other people who are trying to do the same thing as you, and it is very, very like luck based type shit. So again, content creation and streaming could be harder than a 9 to 5 because, like I said, you got to think of all these things like analytics, streaming ideas, video ideas, your editing, analytics, all that stuff. And you feel me? It weighs on a person a lot. And then on top of that, like, let's say you are monetized, because especially when people are monetized and like more people are watching them, it gets a little even more harder than a 9 to 5 because then you got to be putting out more videos to keep your watch hours and following up. And then on top of that, YouTube's monetization is straight up ass. So yeah, like 9 to 5, it can be hard, but again, streaming is up there too. And there's a lot of niggas who deal with both. Some people deal with like content creation and streaming, and some people they do with the 95. But you know what is harder though? People who do both. Now, this is coming from me. I do work and make content like all in one, and it's a lot of people who are like trying to do both right now. Like I said, even me is trying to do right now. And you got to respect these people because they put the time in for their work and then they still find the time to like come and try to do a video for, their subscribers. So again, shout out to all my people who are doing both at the same time. It's not easy out here, bro. But again, yeah, man, content creation, you could say it's harder and than a 9 to 5 and streaming. And, vice versa, 9 to 5s can definitely be harder than doing content creation. Because, like I said, you got to constantly worry about annoying customers, constant shit you got to do, being understaffed, and then waking up early in the morning to come and spend like 6, 7 hours on a shift and then going back home, and you're tired and shit like that. And, that weighs on a person. And most times, some people got to do that shit like for a whole week, unless you like don't work Friday or some shit like that. And then for the content creation side, I just feel like, you feel me? It really, really depends on the creator you are. Honestly, like I said, it could be harder than a 9 to 5. But again, no one is forcing you to like sit here and do content creation. Like, you feel me? You're not really getting taxed to do anything. It's not weighing. I mean, it could weigh on your mental, but like your body and shit like that, it's not, messing with that. Some people, that's why like some people they make like one video and after that they like just distance themselves before they make another one because they take breaks, they do this, they do that, they go outside and all that stuff. So again, you could make the argument that one is harder than the other and vice versa, but like at the end of the day, I just feel like this is a dumb ass like topic in my opinion because there are just a lot of people who are just saying this shit. And some of them are like people who have never created anything in their life or they've never worked a job before. Like, I don't know how this topic even came up in the first place, but it's a really dumb topic. Now, again, if you really want to say which is harder, I would definitely say 9 to 5s is harder than streaming and content creation because, like I said, you got to get up early in the morning, go to a shift, spend how much hours there, and then come back to the crib. Sometimes you're tired as shit. Like sometimes even me, when I go to work sometimes and I come back, sometimes I'm tired, like I shower and then I go to sleep and I'm tired as shit. I don't even like really hop on the game or do anything because of how tired I am from working, you feel me? And then you got to deal with again other things like fast food or retail, for example. You got to deal with annoying customers, being like, constantly being told to do shit. And all these things just weigh on you again, which makes this shit hella hard and stressful. But I mean, at the end of the day, you got to show up for the grind. You feel me? But yeah, that's like my like really standing on the topic. Not a long, video for today, but again, I just feel like this is a pretty dumb topic to even talk about in the first place because like this has to be the dumbest thing ever. Like, again, this topic was flown around for a bit, but I just like ignored it completely because I just thought of how dumb it was. But then the more I thought about like this topic itself, the more I said, man, I might as well just make a video giving my thoughts and feelings. But my thoughts and feelings, like I said again, the 9 to 5s are definitely harder than the content creation sides. Or you can say they're equally hard. They're both equally hard. So yeah, I'm gonna end it off here. If you guys do enjoy this little random video today, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, let me know your thoughts down below on which is harder, the 9 to 5s or content creation. So yeah, just let me know down below. And yeah, I'm Niavi too. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy and peace out. I'm out of here.